Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Smith. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out, the MVP of Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
An electric force out of the backfield is Jay Ajayi, who made the most out of his midseason exit from Miami and acquisition by the Philadelphia Eagles. The leading rusher in the playoffs for the Eagles helped power them to a Super Bowl with his ability to see holes where people don't think they exist and turn them into long runs.
180!
Check. Presto.
Pick!
Now Foles. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This is how they will line it up defensively for Washington. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Under.
Here's Foles. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Foles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Go! Come here!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Let's go! Great.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gibson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that's the pinpoint.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Former fourth-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open, and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
Throwing on third down, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over a 1st and 10. Coming out as they get ready.
They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to his left. And he fires one incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
180.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really Read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
They run again on first down. Peterson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They run it here with Thompson. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. You see Thompson's numbers from a week ago. 20 carries, 90 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carried from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
And out now come the Eagles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Zach Brown coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll set up a throw. Goes underneath for Sproles. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Holding defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Thompson. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw, Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Eagles on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
180.
Back to throw. Aguilar has it. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Foles now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Foles. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Purnell McPhee. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Back to throw here. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Smith on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end, and that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Smith throwing again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's Foles. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. They'll run with Thompson. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Josh McCown, strong in the victory, as his guys managed to cobble together their 3rd win in an otherwise dismal campaign. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. and they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
180! Be alert! Be alert!
Now a handoff looking right. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's Smith now on second down. And that's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith, and that is incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. Wind at his back now in this 3rd quarter. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. On play action, they'll throw. It's complete, left side to Aguilar. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Under.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the... And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Jonathan Allen in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Again, a run with Thompson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Smith, and a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Crowder's got it over the middle. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Smith. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, here's Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now it's Ajayi, and he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Purple 64.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Still about 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And will go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. In in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mason Foster in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now a hit and Foles loses the football. It's out, and the Redskins scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 2nd and 10, Smith again. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 1st down, Smith. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Dancing to his... And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now Smith. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll look to throw here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film. All that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
That is right. Tonight, 380. Purple 64.
Now Foles. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
This is Ajayi, and he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Foles. Going long here for Wallace. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Now Smith. Flush to his right, and he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety. Guys, this game's felt a bit weird all along the whole way through, and no better play maybe exemplifies that weirdness than that safety right there.
Partner, you've got a tie game and time running out. You've got to be ultra careful down on that end of the field, and this could very well be the play that decides this football game.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Hey, Keaton.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And they take a knee. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Philadelphia, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.